I honestly cannot believe that they brought these back. Like, this is one of the most obscure Jordans ever. There's more, but I'm just surprised. Of all the Jordans to bring back, this, not complaining though. What's good, guys? It's Chris from WearTesters.com. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and review on something that I do want to call bad boys because tech spec wise it's got more in there than a lot of new shoes. It's so funny, there's still a debate online amongst some people claiming that retros are not basketball shoes. And it's like, no, dude. When an Air Jordan 11, 12, 13, 14 has more tech in it than Giannis's shoe,
why'd we have to go there?
I gotta throw him under the bus, bro. MVP right there with low-grade tech, aka no tech. But this right here is something from, you know, I can't remember the exact year. I want to say it's from like 2003. I don't even think it was that. But anyways, this right here is the Jordan. New year, new me. Same me. I almost dropped the shoe again. Been doing that for a long time. But this is the Jordan Team Showcase. Now, first things first, I grabbed these over at shoepalace.com. That's not a plug. I'm just letting you know because where'd you get those all the time? Shoe Palace, that's where I found them. They have two colorways, this one, and this is an original colorway. The second colorway is a brand new colorway. I'm not actually feeling them. They're all red. It's not a bad colorway. I don't know why. Especially when you come with like these old school like team shoes. It's just the ones that I remember from when I was younger. Those are the ones that I like. I don't typically like any of the newer ones. But this guy right here, they originally came in a different box. They came in the same box as the Air Jordan 16s, and it was the face box. The face box was a great time, in my opinion, as a Jordan fan. Like the silver box and the face box, and then the silver anniversary box. It was the silver box, but the logo was for an anniversary. And for those of you guys that don't know what I'm talking about, this is the face box. Might be a little creepy nowadays. I thought it was really cool that he's just staring you in the face being like, yeah, I'm the GOAT. And if you wear these, you have the potential to be a GOAT too, even though it's not true. But it was always like one of those things where I just felt it in my soul.
On your feet?
Oh, that soul, good one. But the one loose tie that these guys have to the Air Jordan 16, besides them being a Jordan, is right here on the tongue. It's got like some braille stuff. I don't know what this says. It could say 23, it could say something else.
Isn't it the buttons that are on the back of the shoe? A little fast forward and rewind?
Oh, it actually is. Good eye. So you can see that from further away. Because up close, they just kind of blend all together. Now that I see it, it is. Good job, Mrs. Wings. She figured out something that I've been wondering for years. What is the braille on the tongue? It's the fast forward and rewind button. Boom. Case closed. Insert Law and Order music. Dun, 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 dun. Is that music?
Dun, dun, bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, that's that. So this guy right here, again, really obscure Jordan model, like in general. Like there's a bunch of them, you know what I mean? There's like the Team Post, the Team FBIs, the Team J. I had those. Those were crazy. Those were mad hard to strap up and everything. It had this weird leather enclosure with a little metal hook on the inside. Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, those guys used to rock them. I don't know if it was like a shooter's thing. Man, they were dope. They weren't really dope, but like at the time, I thought they were dope. These I was never super fond of as far as like me being like, man, I need these. Like how I felt about the Jumpman Pros, the Jumpman Quicks, Jumpman Pro Strongs. But it was still a Jordan, so I did want it a little bit. Like I would take anything back then. I'd be like, oh, it's a Jordan, I'll take it. That's what these guys were. They were just kind of like a model that most of the college teams that Jordan Brand had signed wore. So Cincinnati had their own, the Cal Bears had their own, and they would say instead of Jordan, the team's name and all of that stuff, which was really cool. So there were some PEs out there with that stuff on there. You can probably find them on eBay. Tech spec wise, this shoe's got everything that the Greek Freak shoe does not, okay? I'm just saying. First thing is good traction, okay? We got herringbone. I don't know if it's gonna play well or not, but I have a good feeling about it because the rubber right here, it feels really good. I'm slightly worried about the rim though. I never liked when they did stuff like that. It's kind of like naked. You have the potential, if you have dust bunnies in your gym, if you got a 24 membership, y'all already know. However, this stuff is covered in rubber, so the entire outsole is all rubber. There's no foam poking through and all that stuff. The second thing is that there's so much rubber on this shoe that I'm like, man, these things are gonna be tanks, because this line right there, hopefully y'all can see it, but from there forward, wrapping all the way around to this line right here, that's all rubber. That whole forefoot is all rubber, everything, including the outriggers. So it's gonna be real beefy, real stable, all of this stuff. And then the back, that's all foam or Phylon. So hopefully it alleviates some of that like clunky feeling that like solid rubber cup soles often have. And then at the midfoot right here, again, we got something that the Greek Freak shoe just doesn't have, and that's a shank plate. So we got a little TPU plate right there. I don't even know if this is completely necessary because of how much rubber there actually is along the sidewalls in terms of torsional support. But the reason reason why there is a shank plate there, and this is why there wasn't one on the Greek Freak shoes. I was just joking about them not having a shank plate, even though it was true, is that this guy right here has the cutout of the arch area and all that stuff. So when you do something like that and then you put a person in the shoe and then it weighs the shoe down, when you have that break right in the middle, that'll collapse. That was a big issue for a lot of people in the Air Jordan 28, which is why we got the tendril in the Air Jordan 29. It bridged the gap, and that's what shank plates are for. They're kind of the bridge to the gap. They keep it sturdy so that when you put your pressure on there, it's not going to bow and buckle underneath your pressure. When you have a full-on flat outsole like a lot of the drop-in midsole options do, or something like the Greek Freak shoe, your pressure, your body weight is the actual pressure. So the only thing that you have to worry about in that sense is plantar fasciitis. If you don't at least have something in the torsional from this point to make it a little bit sturdier, that's what some of those people can suffer from. And so a Greek Freak shoe in particular wouldn't help those kind of people out. But something like this where it's wrapped in rubber, it could. Now the cushioning on these guys features air in the back and 4-foot Zoom Air. It's both top-loaded units, so again, more cushioning than a modern hoop shoe. And at $140, it better be. However, the upper on these guys is, I think, better than most modern day shoes because it actually has leather on there, and it's not just any kind of leather, it's nice soft leather. Why can't you use this on the Air Jordan 13's toe, guys? Speaking of the Air Jordan 13, these guys right here have the synthetic suede that you might see on the midsole and portions of the upper of the Air Jordan 13. It also comes across on the ankle and then wraps through on the tongue, which I think is dope. I think it gives you that really cool kind of like cupped look. Now, as far as sizing is concerned, I went true to size. That's what I would recommend. They fit great in my opinion. I like the way that they feel. They feel like they're not going to need a lot of break-in time in terms of the upper because the leather is on the soft side instead of that really hard kind of stiff synthetic stuff. However, again, I'm kind of worried about the that's a lot of rubber right there, man. Like that's like a lot of rubber, especially right here. So it could be good, could be like kind of clunky, kind of stiff. We'll have to wait and see. All I know is that this is just like, you could have like given me a list of random Jordan branded shoes, not including the retro stuff, AKA the old flagship stuff, because those were not retros at the time of their original releases. And this was just not, it's not something that I would have ever have said was gonna re-release. I'm shocked. I'm also super happy though that we're also getting a retro of the very first women's Air Jordan, and it was just called the Air Jordan Women back in the day. It was almost like a takedown of the Air Jordan 13, but it was not a takedown in any way, shape, or form. It just kind of had design elements and design cues from it. I'm hoping that everything on the retro is as close to the original as possible, because that was a great shoe. That shoe had some soft ass leather. That would crease just by looking at it, just like the original 13s. But that pretty much takes care of these guys. Again, this is the Jordan Team Showcase. I cannot believe that they brought these back. It's so random. Happy New Year to everybody, by the way, in case I haven't like let you guys know. I don't know why I'm looking at you, distracting my ass. If you wanted to see a review on the original pair, check out Jumpman Bosic's channel, because that dude's got like one of everything. I'm pretty sure he's got one of these in his arsenal, or in the what he calls the basement of J's.
Now, I know you said you didn't know what year these came out exactly. All I know is I look at these and I'm taken back to the early 2000s when Justin Timberlake was with a little girl named Britney Spears. Like, that's what this shoe looks like to me.
I'm pretty sure he probably wore these.
Probably.
With baggy pants that were probably Carolina color.
Oh.
With like maybe a white top and a headband with his like curly hair sticking out and stuff. That might actually be a thing. He might have worn these in some kind of NSYNC promo.
If the early 2000s had a color, it would be
this.
Yes.
And it was only because of Jordan Brand.
Really?
Yeah. He rocks UNC hard.
Yeah.
This is a guy who's in charge of an entire basketball operation, okay, an entire team. And he would no doubt draft somebody from North Carolina over, like, say, Duke, even if the guy from Duke was way better. But this guy right here, I can't, you probably don't even remember this.
No.
This is a shoe that only if I seen it, like if I run across it, I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember those. Otherwise, it never even like comes into my consciousness, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But one thing I will say that I did not say earlier, but I do say this all the time, like on a regular basis. For those of you guys that are looking for basketball shoes for outdoor use, okay? Because these new shoes, they're not made to last.
Right.
They're just not. Stop looking at these new shoes and getting bummed out, because you already know they're not made to last on the concrete, on the blacktop, none of that stuff. They're just not. They barely last indoors. Go retro. Not all retros, but go with the retros that are solid. This is one of them, where it's got that solid rubber. It's everywhere. It's sturdy on top of that. Good materials. It'll be durable outside. And then cushion is the second thing. Cushion outside, if you don't have it, you notice it real quick. Trust me, especially when you're old. Like, it's not one of those things that you want to fuck with later on and be like, no, I'm young now. But look, dude, because then you're going to be my age and you're going to be like, where'd my knees go?
I left them
yeah.
out on the road.
I left them back in my teens, you know what I mean? Because that's what's going to happen, dude. So this got cushion front and back. It's not rocket science. All you need is to know, oh, that's a lot of rubber and it's got some decent cushion in it. That can be used for outside. And you will typically see that on retro products because this is just how they made them in the 90s, like bricks.
Well, that makes sense too, because back then, where did people play for the most part?
Yeah, a lot of park in front of your house. Even nowadays, that's kind of rare.
Yeah, like I feel like now a lot more people have gym memberships and whatnot, and that wasn't something.
There's a lot more locations available.
Yeah.
There's a lot more of them that are more affordable.
Right.